of our phenomenal viewers, listeners, and supporters. I am your host, Brianna, podcast Bree Harris, and I am so excited to be here. If you're a new audience member, welcome. We are so grateful to have you. Welcome to another episode of Connected, where we discuss all things mental health, recovery, employment, and stories. Before we dive in, the show is sponsored by Contra Costa Behavioral Services, Kaiser, and John Muir. Here at the Clubhouse, we have many different programs tailored to each member, one being the Healthy Silvers program. Healthy Silvers is for our members age 55 plus, geared towards special outings, meetings, and overall community. Today's special guest, Roozbeh Bashi, has been head of the program for the past 2 years. Getting older can sometimes result in loneliness, transportation disparities, and loss of resources. So he has made it his special mission to accommodate our older generation with the healthy experience here at the Clubhouse. Here to give further information on his role within the program, please welcome Roozbeh.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is my first episode back in a really long time, so I'm excited. I'm nervous. Roozbeh is probably a little nervous, but he is going to give us a greater insight on the Healthy Silvers program. Well, Roozbeh, thank you for being here. What special event took place that got you into public health in general?
Wow. I hope that if you have enough time to go into
you can
all
give
the
us
story.
The cliff notes. You can give us the
okay.
cliff notes.
Okay. Actually, what I did for the almost whole of my life, I was in a business world. I am dealing back in my home country. I trading machine tools, and also my company sent me to many countries all around the world. I was in the most of the country in the Europe. I was in the Asia, many countries, even in the Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, name it. So this was my job. I'm going for some training and back and train our specialists in the company. But when there is many things happen back in my country, and that is why I moved to United States. And
where is your country? I'm sorry to cut
Iran.
you off.
I am from Iran.
Okay.
Persia, Iran. I moved to United States, and still I have this mind of business world, and that is why the first thing which I did, I back to school, going to have my master in business here in United States. To back to the business here and establish my company here in United States again, in my new home country. But several things happened, which the worst one, I can say that the tragic one was my wife passed away. And suddenly, totally my view and perspective of life is changed. Mm-hmm. And so somehow I thinking that really I don't want to spend my life to selling something or push people to sell something which really I don't believe on it. I want to doing something meaningful. And yes, this is how I end up here. Again, there is there are different branch of the story, but this is the short one, which I...
No worries.
Yes.
Okay. So, so from the time that your wife passed away, and then you said, hey, I have a different perspective on life. You kind of had like a spiritual awakening, would you say? Mm-hmm. And it seems like you were kind of going through a little bit depression. I remember we were talking about it. And so ultimately you kind of were just like, I want to do something more meaningful. I want to help people and kind of help guide people through the same thing that I was going through, and which brought him to the Clubhouse. And he's been here the past 2 years. When you first got to the Clubhouse, were you immediately assigned to the Healthy Silvers program, or when did that come about?
No, actually, Tim Richardson. He was the head of the Healthy Silver, mm-hmm. But I think he was so busy with many other stuff to do, mm-hmm. and that is why. And also, I show interest because I feel that this is the place which I can be helpful and useful.
Mm-hmm. And Roozbeh is very helpful. He's very hands-on. He's on it. He's advocating. He's like, okay, come on, we have to go. He keeps the ball rolling, I would say, around here. So I think I can also relate to, I know like after my mom passed away, I had a switch. I quit my job And it was just kind of weird being there. And I was just like, ultimately, this is not what I want to do. I was starting my own side business with my mom in general. So then I kind of continued that. And then I just dove completely into what I wanted to do. And ultimately just create community and help people and stuff like that, which ultimately landed me this job as well. But I definitely can, relate on how that feels. It is very hard on your psyche, but ultimately, I had such a great community when that happened and a lot of support, and so it just made me want to pour back into everybody around me and do that. Well, so what is this Healthy Silvers program and how has it impacted the members in a positive way?
Um, I think the most important task, which really we are going all together to, which is connection.
Mm-hmm.
This is somehow a gathering once per week, and we are going to share our experiences and also our struggles in aging. And in this way, they are going to somehow we are going to show that you are not alone in this journey to
Mm-hmm.
aging. And I think this is the most important thing which we have. And of course, in this, fast environment which we have, and there is no any, the people doesn't have enough time to listen to the elderly people. So it's a place which everybody can. I'm sure that all of these elderly people have their own stories to tell,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody wants to listen. So we are going to sitting together, listen, sometimes laugh, even sometimes cry,
Mm-hmm.
and to show this connection.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately be able to advocate for each other and for people who may not feel like they have a community worth of elders or people their age outside of the clubhouse, and at least they know they can come here and have a meeting once a week to just kind of let it all out. So it's very admirable. I feel like it should be more activities for older people to do because the older you get, it can get lonely. You may have friends or relatives who pass away, and maybe your grandkids don't come visit you, or just different things like that. And so to have some sense of community, it helps with the aging process as well, because you're not we're as humans, we're social creatures, and when we're not as social, we're not out doing things, walking, moving, staying active, then it could start speeding the process up, and then that's not good as well. And so that's good that you guys do that. And I know you do the yoga as well. How did you get into yoga?
Oh yes, this is also something which, again, after my wife passed away, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing which I do, I feel that I am not in those time. I'm not totally in this yoga, or even I didn't know what is the meaning of grounding. But
Mm-hmm.
somehow I feel that as soon as my daughter starting to, she was 5 years old, the other one was 10 years old. As soon as they want to talk about their mom, I totally starting to cry. I cannot, connect with them. I cannot stable. I lose my connection. I lose my stability. That is why I think that I must do something about it. And I have several, again, traveling to Peru, I traveling to India,
Mm-hmm.
and then I realized that yoga is something which I can finding my place and ground myself. That is why I go into the teacher training and the Kundalini Yoga teacher training
Oh wow.
course, and I pass it, and I certified Kundalini Yoga teacher,
Mm-hmm.
which helped me a lot. It helped me also my daughters, help myself, and I think this is something which I want to bring to the community. And just right now, most of the time, I try to also to focus in chair yoga, because again, our focus is to mostly for the elder people, which they cannot move much, but they need to be grounding. And yes, this is the main things which we are doing in our session in yoga.
Mm-hmm. Right on. I'm going to take it back just a little bit. Growing up, was mental health discussed within your family?
What do you mean again? Do you mean?
So I know in some cultures, some generations, they don't talk about what they're going through and how they're feeling. It's kind of like you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you keep going. And so I wanted to know if you felt like your mental health was neglected, or was it a part of a conversation? Like now it's a little bit more popular, I guess. More people are talking about it. We're advocating for each other. So was that your experience growing up in your country?
Actually, in our culture, is totally different because we have more connection back in my country. The
Mm-hmm.
family, even the neighbors, we have more connection and more supportive. Maybe we don't have the luxury of these therapists because in therapists here they have their own very different way how to comfort you or how to going through. Maybe we don't have such a luxury, but again we have the culture which we are support each other. We have this support, and that is
Mm-hmm.
why, and that is really what happened, which bring me to this part of my life. Which after my wife passed away, I started to working in the Catholic charities as a job developer,
Mm-hmm.
which I want to helping refugees to find a job when they are come to this country. And again, it was a very meaningful job which I did. But after 2 years, 3 years, I think I worked there again. I think I need some more support because I cannot raise my kids
Yeah.
alone, and it was difficult, especially here when you don't have any support in the new country. And that is why I back to my country for 3 years and established my own yoga studio there.
Oh wow.
And that is yes, but I believe that there is something happening in your life which they are going like a ball. They are going to guide you somewhere which you
Yeah.
are not expected. That I think that I'm going to back there and I receive the support from the family. But after I established my yoga studio and everything going so well, suddenly the COVID hit,
Uh,
and I cannot continue. They are going to close all the yoga studio because they cannot gathering. And also my daughters, they want to back to the United States because smaller one is born here. The other one have a lot of friends here. That is why
mm-hmm.
we are back in United States, and again,
Yeah.
yes, starting a new life.
Yeah. Yeah. You never know where life is going to take
Yes,
you.
exactly.
So now that you've reflected on just some past life, moving forward in your older age, what does being a healthy silver mean to you?
Oh, really healthy silver is the. I can see that there is a men and women who really need respect because again it's very different in their cultures. In our cultures at least, we have a lot of respect for the elderly people,
Mm-hmm.
and we feel that they are many experiences which you cannot read. I don't know, you cannot learn it in the university, in the school.
Yeah. Life
And yes,
experience.
exactly, they have the life experience, and that is why I feel that if I can do something, if I can bring something, some joy, some hope to this group, this is my job to do. This is my life purpose, and
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love to be, and just right now after 2 years, I feel like a family for me.
Yeah. It definitely feels like a family
Yes,
here. I love this environment. And everybody's so nice and friendly for the most part.
yes,
No, everybody's really nice here.
yes.
Um, so I think I kind of prematurely said healthy silvers. If you guys don't know what a healthy silver means, or the play on the word healthy silver, if I must say, the play on the word healthy silver, when you get older, your hair turns gray or black and white or salt and pepper or silver. So instead of saying like, oh, it's an old person program, it's a healthy silver, and it's speaking life into the person. It's a healthy, silver. So um, I like the term, and
Yes, it's nice.
I just wanted to throw that in there because I didn't know if you guys who are listening or watching knew or automatically knew what it meant. So sorry I didn't throw that in the beginning, but we know
Yes,
what
you
it
can see
means.
the.
Right. Right. So, in a perfect world, if you had all of the money, time, and resources, how would you improve the Healthy Silvers program?
That is interesting question because really it is like a dream, like a dream. I
Mm-hmm.
have a dream. I have a dream. I have this dream which to establish really a community,
Mhm.
like a village for the people who can gathering together, and after a day, a daily task, and all the cooking, preparation, the food, everything in the night, we can gathering all together around the fire and tell stories.
That's
This
great.
is, yes, far from city, far from all of these hassles and all of the noises.
Mhm. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So typically, what does a month within the Healthy Silvers program looks like? I know you guys go on some outings, but like how many outings do you go on? And then how many people are in attendance on those outings and meetings?
And that is good. Our outing in Healthy Silver is really busy. It's a really busy one. Maybe one of the reason is we are in the middle of the day and in the middle of the week, and also people like to going all together when we are in the same category, same age,
Mm-hmm.
age category. And also some of this was so interesting. We even one time I remember we visited aquarium in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good,
Mm-hmm.
and we had like after that we had like a picnic. And we
Mm.
already have visited their rose garden.
Oh
We
wow.
already, yes, there is many nice places we visited all together,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really good. And we always have the full van
Mm-hmm.
to going there, and it's nice. Always it is a good outing, and I like it the outing. And usually, what we are going to do, we are going to choose the destination during our session, which we have. So we are going to choose the destination when we are going to when they want to go, and after that we have a vote, and after that we are going to present it to the management, and
Mm-hmm.
they are going to facilitate to
How
going
we
to
go
decide.
about the
Yes,
logistics.
yes.
Okay, so to kind of summarize what Roozbeh said, they come together, they figure out some outings that they would like to do, and then like you said, you voted on it, and then we take it to upper management, and then they kind of figure out the logistics of how that will work and any alternatives if that's not something that they can do. So it's pretty much how we operate here in the clubhouse in general. We all have a say so in things that we want to do, but with Healthy Silvers, they talk about their particular outings, just like the young adults program. It's almost the same. And it seems like you said, you're pretty busy because it is a community, it is a family, and the outings are pretty fun. So that's good that it's a positive outlook. Are you? What are like some challenges that you experience within the program, if you have any?
Actually, there is something which really I believe, especially I remember that when I want to come here and work, after I graduated from Spirit program, because Clubhouse was the host of the graduation
Mm-hmm.
ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the graduation, I saw there is the members and staff, which I didn't know where where they are work, but I saw that they are so joyfully they are work so hard, and
Mm-hmm.
that was interesting for me.
Mm-hmm.
That is why after graduation, I go into the website and starting to search about the clubhouse concept. And because still I have this mind of the business, I said, oh my God, this is a really great opportunity. This is a great model to help others.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because if we have 300 locations all around the world for more than 30 years, this is so much experience. If one organization want to have this experience, takes 1,000 years to have all of this experience.
Right.
But now we have 300 locations for 30 more than 30 years, and all of this experience coming, and we can use it, because everybody, we have the different seminars, we have different training course, so everybody come and share this experience, and this is great. This is the great model
Mm-hmm.
to work. Really, for me, especially in the first year which I work in, there's many things not make sense. I think, so why it's like that, so why? But then I try to be trust to the model, because I know that it must be a knowledge behind this model,
Yeah.
because it's already work. It's
Yeah.
already, if it's not work, perhaps in the first few years it can be disappear. But
Right.
if it's work, it shows that I must trust the model and follow the model. That is sometimes it's very difficult, but if I learn how to follow the model, this is the way. This is the way which we must I'm sure that it is help, and really I trust to the model and how it works.
Okay. So one of your challenges within the program, just in general, was that you did not trust the process per se, and then you kind of came to the realization, like, well, obviously it works because they have 300 locations. It's been moving along, so let me just kind of let go and just kind of cave in.
Exactly, because when when you are coming from business world, there is many things not make sense.
Yeah.
You said because always you are calculating, but then I said that no, I was coming out from this mindset and trust the process, trust the policies, and follow it. This is the
Absolutely. That's great. One of my last questions for you is, in your experience, what are some stereotypes that one might have about becoming older?
Oh, again, we are living in a fast-paced environment, especially in the technology.
Yeah.
And most of the, just right now, especially the young generation, they are always thinking that, oh, these old people are so, I don't know, they cannot learn fast, they cannot, keep up with the technology. And it's true, sometimes maybe we have some people in not my age, but maybe a little bit older, they have even some problem with the remote control,
Yeah, right.
which sometimes if I have a problem with my phone, always my 15 years old daughter can
Right.
solve it for me,
Right.
So that is something which it is a reality. But in the other hand, I think at least it happened for me, which there is many things change how I look to the world, how I look to my life, how I look to others, the relationship. There is a lot of things change, and I feel much happier and much relaxed than I was in the young, because it is so much stress. You don't, always to do something, you must, go and, achieve something,
Right.
do something.
Right.
And just right now, I feel I feel at least myself much happier and relaxed and grounded than young people I see here. I think this is some differences.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have differences in kind of where we are in life and our skills and stuff like that. So to kind of tie it back to the question, so one of the stereotypes you feel like is the fact that older people kind of get pushed to the wayside because they're not within the hustle and bustle of the way things are moving and innovating throughout life, and you just kind of like forget about them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
Exactly.
it's good to have the Healthy Silvers program, and to be able to kind of discuss those kind of things, and then ultimately come to some kind of consensus, like, okay, well, if we're all experiencing this, maybe this is something that we could work on, and you can kind of advocate and guide that. So, Roozbeh, is there any final thing that you'd like to leave us with? You want to tell us before we conclude this episode? Anybody you want to shout out? Any
Yes,
poems you want to share?
I am personally one thing which really helped me through my recovery. I'm not sure the recovery is not some place which you are going to be there. This is always the journey.
Yeah.
But this something which helped me a lot is the Rumi. Rumi is a philosopher and poet from back from Iran.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the stories which Rumi tell us, and maybe if you can set up more, maybe next episode I can bring some stories, nice stories from Rumi for you,
Okay.
and tell you. And it is really most of this is also about the mental health and how you handle it. But if you let me, I bring a poem from Rumi. I can read it for you.
Okay.
Although it's very difficult, to translate. I didn't translate it. I found it in the internet, but I know exactly the story behind this poem, and I love the story. But the story, maybe we put it for another time. But at least I can read it the poem for you.
Yeah, please
Okay,
do.
thank you. Okay. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest with honor. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
I love that. I love that. I can totally relate. Just the first line alone you said, I was like, I feel this.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Well,
this is something which really we are working in our Healthy Silver group, because we are. I try always back and remind people about the eight pillar of wellness, which one of it is also spiritual. And I always let them know that the spiritual is not only religion; it can be something which you believe on it, and you must. And also, one of the others is emotions. It is different things which I always remind my colleagues that to know that there is the also as about the emotions, they are come and go, they are come and go, so don't feel bad if you sometimes you feel sad, sometimes you are happy, but they are as a guest, they are come and go. But the most important thing, not let them to stay.
yeah.
This is the
And
most important thing.
fester.
Yes.
Yeah, my dad says peaks and valleys, peaks and valleys. Sometimes you're high, sometimes you're low. Well, Roozbeh, this has been a great episode. I'm glad I got to learn more about you because I see you almost every day and don't
you.
know much about you. So thank you so much for informing our viewers and our listeners and our supporters on the Healthy Silvers program and giving your insight. And thank you for your contribution to the Clubhouse. And this has been another episode of Connected, and we are out of here. Bye.